What's up? What's up? What's up? The title of today's discussion is It Is Already Yours. So why are you still waiting? We are going to talk about this journey of reality creation a little bit more today. All right? Let's get right into it. Okay? The moment you declare the end, the journey begins. All right? The moment you declare the end, the moment you say, I have something, it's mine. The moment you have a desire and you say, oh, it's mine, the journey begins. Not toward the thing, but from it. From it. You are not waiting for life to catch up. Life is catching up to the frequency you already claimed. All right, so let's break this down. Psalm 37:23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. All right? The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. What we got to remember when we're reading these scriptures, good man is genderless. The steps of a good man. We immediately want to think, oh, girl, good man. This is not what it's talking about. The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord. Okay? And then another quote, your own self-realization is the greatest service you can render the world. We talked about this in detail, that the more that you get to know yourself and you know yourself as source, the more you walk in that divine knowledge, the more that you change reality around you for the better. People show up differently because you see them lovingly, you see them ideally, and you give them the energetic space for a better version of them to step forward. You change the world just by working on yourself. You change the entire world that you live in. All right? So let's actually talk about that Psalm 37:23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. What it do? What it do? You do not need to map the entire path, only to walk with unwavering trust. The steps are not random. They are written by the infinite and whispered by your spirit. Even when the road curves through wilderness or stillness, it is ordered and not accidental. Each moment is a divine footprint, even the ones you didn't plan. Even the ones that broke you open. The one who walks with God does not chase signs. He becomes one. So when we say the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about walking around and abiding by this moral construct that a human has created. We're talking about the one who is walking in righteousness, the one that is pure of heart, the one whose steps are ordered by the Lord, does not see through the ego, but sees with the eyes of the spirit, judges righteously. Everything must be unfolding for me perfectly because source is within me. This is what it means. We're not talking about the type of husband you want. We're talking about who are you when you're walking through life and you have that desire and you grant it to yourself. This is a good man, a good woman. Steps are ordered by the divine within them. Cool. And when you finally turn inward and remember who you are, not the mask of the ego, not the striving to try to be worthy, but the steel flame within, that realization itself becomes a lighthouse to the world. Just by you remembering, realizing who you are, what's the highest level of self-actualization? I always talk about this, right? I am source. God is within me. We cannot be separated. And when I walk in that knowing, now I have a divine responsibility to see others as I want them to be, to see others ideally, to see myself as ideally, because I know that every word I speak is an expression of source. Every time I speak about somebody, I'm speaking about source. Every time I name a circumstance, situation, anything, I'm speaking about source. So now that realization, when I finally look inward and remember who I am, that realization itself becomes a lighthouse to the world. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. All right? The more you know yourself, the more aligned your steps become. Because self-realization is not self-centered. It is God-centered. Self-realization, right? That's why when I say that, when I'm like, okay, the highest level of self-actualization is I am source. On one side, on the egoistic side, it sounds like an arrogant statement, but this is a statement of humility. I am the expression of the divine. I am the identity of the divine. Therefore, my words hold weight. Therefore, whatever I speak about people, I must be mindful about it. I must be mindful. I must show reverence. to this source within me. I have to understand I am the temple. And every time I go within myself, guess who I'm communing with? The divine. Every time I speak, guess what I'm expressing? The divine. Every time I walk, guess who's with me? The divine. Everywhere I sit, guess who's behind me? The divine. Every situation I look at and I speak at, guess what I am pushing, speaking into that circumstance? The divine, right? This is an obligation. This is an obligation, all right? So self-realization is not self-centered. It is God-centered, rooted in truth, clarity, and surrender. When we talk about self-centered, we're talking about pure ego. We had the discussion when we talked about the 5 levels of reality creation. The lowest level is I use to have. Very self-centered. I use other people. I use things to get what I want. Pure self-centered, pure ego. The highest level, I am that I am. There's no separation between me and reality. Reality must be who I am because reality simply is me. There's no within, there's no without, there's just me. There's just reality. And I am that. I am that I am, no separation. All right? So self-realization is not self-centered, it is God-centered. It is rooted in truth, clarity, and the key one, surrender. Surrender. And in that knowing, your very existence becomes a holy offering to the world. I wanted to take my time as I worked through these couple paragraphs and really let it marinate for y'all, because this is important to know. I am the light of the world. Remember, when we're talking about scripture, we're talking about it from the perspective of you play all the roles in this book. You play all the roles. In your reality, you are all that there is in your reality. You're the only one with free will in your reality. And as you're walking through, the more that you know yourself as source, the more you see everything is beautiful, the more you see yourself as perfect, the more you see all things ideally, you are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. Think about the responsibility that is. Think about how beautiful that is. Right? The more I know myself, the more beautiful the world gets. The more I see beauty in everyone, the more I see the divine reflected in everybody that I interact with, the more I allow the most beautiful version of them to step forward. The more beautifully I look at life in general, the more I let beautiful situations step forward. Right? It's all on you. What a responsibility. It is all on me. It's all on me. All right? You are not lost. You are in the unfolding. And everything that unfolds is not in your way. It is the way. Hear that. When you are on that bridge of incidents, you have went to the end, you have stayed there. You have a desire, and you know before I ask, Source will answer. You already know this. So your desire is the same as Source saying yes. You have a desire, yes. All right? Everything that unfolds is not in your way, it is the way. Now, when I'm in the end, everything that I walk through life and experience on that bridge of incidents is the way. I don't care what it looks like. Don't tell me it's unfavorable. I don't want to hear that shit. Judge by appearance, or judge not by appearance, but judge by righteous judgment. Judge righteously. It's unfavorable. I don't want to hear that. Everything that unfolds is not in your way. It is the way. Everything that you encounter on the path is the way. This is the way. Surrender to the way. My ways are greater than yours. All right? You and the Father are one, but the Father does the work. The I am awareness within you does the work. You simply surrender to the ride, knowing that everything that you encounter is the way. All right? When you walk by faith and not by sight, then even the fog becomes sacred. Even the silence becomes divine. Not because it looks like the answer, but because you know you've already received it. Right? When we're talking about this unwavering trust, faith, this conviction, all these things, this is what we're talking about right here. Everything that I experience is the way. You tell me no, that is the way. The situation doesn't look right, that is the way. Situation can look like whatever. It doesn't have to look perfect. The God within me is perfect. So the situation must be unfolding perfectly. This is law. Why? Because I say so. Job 22:28, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be added unto thee. Whatever I say it is, that's what it is. It is what it is because I say so. Okay? So how are you speaking to whatever's showing up in your life? Are you giving it the power to not be what you want, saying, shit's just not working out? Or are you speaking righteously? Remember, the pure, right? The pure only see pure. When we talk about pure righteousness, we're not talking about human laws. We're talking about, do you see from the eyes of spirit? Do you look out in the world and say, everything is always unfolding perfectly for me? Okay? All right. Isaiah 46:10. Declaring the end from the beginning. Pause right there. We're really going to talk about that part of this verse. Isaiah 46:10. But I'm going to read the whole thing. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand. My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Let's break it down. Before the first step was taken, the destination was already declared. Declaring the end from the beginning. And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, right? Sounds real cryptic, real mysterious, real spooky, but it's real beautiful. This is a divine word right here. Before the first step was taken, the destination was already declared. Before time began, you were already seen, already known, already what? Fulfilled, already worthy, already prosperity, already love, already perfect, already divine, already all that there is. Okay? This is not a journey toward possibility. This manifestation journey is not some journey towards possibility. It is a return to certainty. To certainty. God does not guess, he declares. Let there be light. Not please give me some light today, Lord, so I can feel good. Let there be light. And this is the same power that is within you. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. Let there be light. All right. And when you align with that divine counsel, your steps become sacred echoes of a finished word. To live in faith is to live from the completion, not the confusion. You're not trying to make it happen. You are learning how to remember it already did, right? You're not trying to be somebody. You already are all that there is. Every single version of you already exists within you right now. Let this click. Hear this. If you are on this manifestation journey, hear this loud and clear. Hear this. Listen up. Pull your pens out. Write this down. You are not trying to be something. You are not trying to do anything. You are simply remembering who you already are. You are assuming one of the infinite perspectives that already dwells within you. What do I have to do? Is always the wrong question. What do I have to remember that I already am? How do you react to this circumstance? How do I have to react to this circumstance? What do I have to do is the wrong question. What do I have to remember? Well, I already have it because I've already granted it to myself. So it does not matter how I react to this damn circumstance. That's just you creating an unnecessary rule. Getting to the end of that circumstance, looking back and saying, oh, I hope I reacted right. Damn, I might not be in alignment anymore. Guess what? You just decreed it. You just said it. You're the one who said it. Remind yourself that you have that shit. You have everything that you desire. You have everything. Why do you have everything already? Because source is within you. Because you are the temple of the Most High. Because you are the divine. Because you cannot be separated from source, from God. You and God are indivisible. You don't know where you end and God begins. You don't know where God ends and you begin. Somebody argue with your mama about it. You are indivisible. So because all that there is already you, you already have everything. So you're not trying to walk around and feel worthy or feel a certain type of way to get things. You're simply remembering that it's already within you. And then you are seeking the kingdom within you, so all things can be added unto you. Seek ye first the kingdom, and then all things will be added to you. All right? So when I say that I am God, am I saying that there is no God, that we ourselves are God? Or am I simply saying that God is within us and moves through us? What I'm saying is that you're the identity of God. God is a spirit, right? God is not a being. God is pure spirit, pure energy, pure light. And you are the identity of that spirit. You are the personality of that spirit, right? We like to give human aspects to this spirit, but this spirit is simply all that there is. It's all that there is. It's the energy that creates worlds, that creates everything. And that energy is you. So you're the identity of this spirit. This spirit is not an individual human or an individual person or an individual deity. It's simply all that there is. But you are the vessel in which all of that all of this spirit is able to express itself and move through its creation, knowing itself as itself. Right? So this is why to create, you have to know that you're source, or create like source. Assume, right? The same way that God said, let there be light, is the same way that you have to assume, give me this, I have this. Let there be this in my life, and then allow it to be added unto thee. All right? Cool. All right. So from the ancient stillness, the voice of the eternal proclaims, my counsel shall stand. All right, so let me read that one more time. Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. From the ancient stillness, the voice of the eternal proclaims, my counsel shall stand. No matter what appears, no matter who doubts, no matter how long the unfolding, the end remains untouched because it is authored by the unshakable. Posted a video on my story earlier, and it was a Matrix quote, right? It was, I don't remember if it was the second or third, I think it's the third Matrix, where Neo's fighting Agent Smith. Agent Smith's whooping Neo's ass. And he's saying, you must know by now you cannot win. Why? Why do you keep persisting? Why? You have to know that it's useless, right? And what did Neo say? He simply says, because I choose to. Because I choose to. No matter what the situation looks like, why do I continue to persist? Because I've already chosen what I want. I've already selected it. Out of the infinite possibilities that can occur, I already know the end of the story. I choose to. This is what persisting is. I simply continue to choose what I want. All right? To walk in the end is not to avoid difficulty. It is to know that even difficulty bows to destiny. Stop hoping for alignment when you are the alignment. You are the identity of God. You are the wish of source fulfilled. How could you not be in alignment? The only way that you could not be in alignment is if you say so, if you start thinking that you are. So speak the end boldly. Walk it faithfully and trust it is already done because it was declared before the beginning. And do I think the Matrix is real? Like the movie? I think it's a good representation of some very metaphysical, some beautiful metaphysical concepts. I'll just put it like that. Luke 17:21. The kingdom of God is within you. When you speak the end, you are not placing an order to the universe. You are planting a seed in the eternal field of now, right? There's only the current moment. You already have it. You're planting the seed of what you want within you, and it sprouts. It grows from within you, and you experience this unfolding as linear time. This is what linear time is, right? You're not placing an order for something to arrive later. You already have it. It's within you, but it's sprouting from within you. And guess what? You're walking through linear time, and you're experiencing the unfolding of yourself. So basically, you're experiencing the unfolding of yourself, the becoming of reality. So when we say that Grant it to yourself, and then you have to, and then things will unfold to become it. We're not talking about you becoming it. We're talking about reality becoming you. Reality unfolds to become you. Right? When you grant something to yourself, you have it. You are it right now. You are all versions of you right now already. So the moment I declare anything, I have divine right to everything. I already have divine right to everything. But now reality unfolds from within me to become me. So this is the quote unquote concept of catching up. It's not necessarily catching up. It's just unfolding to become you. It's shifting moment by moment to become you. This is what we call linear time. All right. All right. So Neville Goddard quote, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and continue feeling it until that which you feel objectifies itself. Don't you love the way? I love the way Neville just put words together. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and continue feeling it until that which you feel objectifies itself. Basically, keep knowing that you have it until you see it. Know that you have it until you see it. All right. Faith doesn't wait for evidence. It embodies the end and lets the evidence follow. I am the proof. I am the sign. I'm the synchronicity. I'm the prayer that I've been waiting for, that I've been requesting, right? And now reality must rearrange to match me because this is law, because I said so. You don't manifest by force. You remember what is already yours, and you walk like the path beneath you was made just for your feet. Okay, next part. The bridge isn't supposed to look like the promise. So what's up? The bridge isn't supposed to look like the promise. John 3:8, the wind blows where it wishes. You hear its sound, but you don't know where it comes from or where it is going. Okay, quote by Rumi, the wound is the place where the light enters you. The difficult times, whatever you might be going through, that's where the light enters you. All right, and then another beautiful quote, do not be surprised if the road that leads you to your joy first looks like loss. Do not be surprised if the road that leads you to your joy first looks like loss. Don't be surprised. Okay? Stop expecting the journey to match the dream. It's not supposed to. It is designed to rearrange you, not just deliver it to your door. You may lose what no longer serves your destiny. You may be rerouted so you can reclaim your power. You may walk through dark rooms, not because you are off course, but because the light in you needs to prove itself. Don't curse the contrast. It is the bridge. Don't curse the contrast. It is the bridge, right? Dang, here we go. You are not lost. You are in the unfolding. And everything that unfolds is not in your way. It is the way, right? So it goes right back to that quote. Everything that you experience is the way. I don't care what it looks like. How can you tell me that you don't have what you want yet? You already have it. It's just unfolding. You're just judging the middle like it's the end. It's still unfolding. What do you mean you don't have it? You just decreed that. So you are the one making that assumption. Go to the end and stay there. Allow reality to work itself into becoming you. All right? So next part. Number 4, delay is not denial. It is development. We're going to look at this from a very interesting perspective, because I don't mean this in a cliche way. All right? Habakkuk 2:3. I'm sure some of y'all can pronounce this book way better than me. I always struggle with it. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. Now, whenever I see this word tarry, I'm always like, what the hell does this mean? So I Googled it for y'all. So we put the definition right here. What does tarry mean? Tarry means to delay or be slow in starting or going, to linger or wait. To tarry, this is what tarry means. To delay or be slow in starting or going, to linger or wait. Though it tarry, though it delays, or it is slow in starting, or going, wait for it, because it will surely come. Surely. It will surely come. It will not delay. All right? Delay is not denial. It is divine timing in disguise. When you have spoken the vision and planted the seed, the silence that follows is not empty. It is sacred incubation. Though your desire may seem to tarry, to be delayed, though the world may mock your waiting, the promise moves in dimensions beyond what eyes can see. You are not being ignored, you are being aligned. Because what is for you cannot pass you, and what has been declared must arrive in fullness, not fragments, right? We don't celebrate breadcrumbs. I don't eat breadcrumbs. I want the whole loaf. The whole loaf. Wait not with worry, but with witnessing, with awareness, with consciousness, with presence. Righteously, judging everything as for me. Wait, not as a beggar, but as one who knows it must come because it was written. Where was it written? In my heart. I wrote the words already. The moment I spoke them, they were written on destiny. So they must arrive. Heaven does not rush, and yet it is never behind. Your task is not to force, but to remain faithful in the becoming, knowing the vision carries the seed of its own arrival. Heaven does not rush, and yet it is never behind. Your task is not to force, but to remain faithful in the becoming, knowing the vision carries the seed of its own arrival. Remember, there's always something for you to do, but there's never anything that you got to do. The moment you start thinking, I got to do this and this to get it, you're forcing the shit. How do you know that? How do you know what you have to do to get it? I thought you already had it. Which one is it? All right? And when it appears, it will feel like it was never gone because it had been on the way all along. Here's a beautiful quote by Joyce Meyer. Patience is not the ability to wait, but how you act while you're waiting. Patience is not the ability to wait, but how you act while you're waiting. And then another quote, all right? Delay is the space where you become the one who can carry the blessing without dropping it. Delay. Delay is the space where you become the one who can carry the blessing without dropping it. Beautiful, all right? Delay is not an enemy, it is an alchemist. In the waiting, you aren't stuck, you are being prepared. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. You are not forgotten, you are being fortified. The dream is already yours, but sometimes the version of you who can hold it is still being refined in the fire of faith. 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 All right? Next up, number 5, walk like it's already done. Isaiah 61, arise, shine, for your light has come and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. I like that one. Arise, shine, for your light has come and the glory of the Lord rises upon you, all right? Another Rumi quote, we always talk about this. We probably talk about this once every lecture. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. This is why there's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to try to be. There's nothing to embody. Not in the way that we think of embodying. You are not a fragment of God trying to reach for wholeness. You are all of the divine pretending to be a fragment. Remember who you are. You already are everything that you desire to be right now, no matter what. The only person pulling you out of your alignment is you. Because you'll say things like, oh, I'm not worthy, or I have to feel this way, or I have to do these things. It is your birthright to be worthy. You were worthy, you were loved, you were divine, you were prosperity before you were born, before you were made. You were all of these things. You cannot be anything less. You can tell a story, you can pretend to be something less, But you are everything that you desire to be right now, no matter what. No matter what. All right? Here is a quote by Brené Brown. Faith is walking face first. Faith is walking face first and full speed into the dark. Walking face first, full speed into the dark. Knowing that I am the light. I have no problem going into the wilderness, going into that dark night of the soul, because I know I am the light that shines through it all. Know that you have the power within you to overcome it all, to resurrect from whatever situation that you are in. All right? So walk not like you are guessing, walk like you remembered. Speak with certainty. Act with gratitude. Make decisions from the end. Make decisions from the end. Make decisions from the end, not from the fear of missing it. Don't ask for signs, be the sign. Don't wait for clarity, embody it. And when I say embody, I'm simply saying what? Declare your clarity. Know your clarity. Speak your clarity. Command your alignment. Know your alignment. Stop trying to be worthy and just know that you already are, no matter what, all the time. Stop trying to walk as this high vibrational version of you and simply know that you already are, no matter what. Know that you already are, no matter what. No matter what you feel, no matter what you see, no matter any of that. Okay? Your certainty is the permission slip for the universe to obey. All right? Now, in conclusion, every step is the answer. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be pure in your direction. You simply need to choose what you want with certainty. That's it. You just need to choose. Remember, you're not even creating anything. You're simply choosing a perspective to allow reality to become you. That's it. The reality is complete. It's done. It's finished. All right? 1 Corinthians 2:9, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man conceived what God has prepared for those who love him. Eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man conceived what God has prepared for those who love him. There are realms of glory being prepared for you that your senses cannot yet comprehend. Blessings not born of logic, but of divine love. What your eyes haven't seen, what your ears haven't heard, what your hearts could not dare to imagine, God has already written in your story. This isn't just about the future. It's about the unseen majesty already orbiting you right now, waiting for your spirit to align with its frequency. The promise isn't small. It's beyond conception because it was authored by the infinite. So if it looks quiet, trust deeper. If it feels delayed, praise louder. What's coming is greater than what you have prayed for because it was crafted not by your desire, but by the eternal pleasure for those who love him. All right? Another quote by Rumi. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. Even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. All right? All right. Let the world catch up to your knowing. Let the bridge unfold beneath your peace. Let the silence be your sanctuary and not your fear. It is not coming, it is here. And every step you take in faith is the manifestation in motion. All right? You already have everything that you want. You are already exactly the person that you desire to be. You're already the person in perfect alignment with everything that you want. But what story are you telling? Are you telling the story that your feelings are holding you back, that the circumstances is holding you back, that you have to react like this in order to get what you want, that you have to feel better about yourself, that you have to regulate some nervous system? What is the story that you're telling that is keeping you from being that person right now? Any story that you can imagine, anything that shows up in your awareness that tries to tell you that right now you are not in alignment with what you want is an illusion. It's a limiting belief, and it's simply there for you to confront it and drop it. That's it. It's there for you to confront it and drop it. Right now, you have the keys to every perspective within you, to every version of you, the infinite versions of you. You can create infinite worlds in your reality. You can have infinite experiences. What are you choosing? What are you being faithful to? All right? What are you being faithful to? So a couple reflection questions, and then we're going to get some affirmations, and then we'll do questions. Okay? Number one, where in my life have I mistaken divine timing for delay? Where in my life have I mistaken divine timing for delay? And how can I shift into trusting that what is unfolding is greater than I imagined? Where in my life have I mistaken divine timing for delay? I'm going through a situation right now that I just had an epiphany about it today. Like, oh shit. I surrender. Alex, surrender. This is the one area in your life that you are not surrendering. Surrender. And the moment I did, boom, everything fell into place. What in your life are you seeing as delay when it's really divine timing? When it's an opportunity for you to surrender fully, for you to trust more. All right? Remember, trust, faith is just a choice. You're always having faith or trusting in something. Always. Even saying I don't have faith is faith in something else. You are always, right? You are always having faith in something. Okay? Yeah, we can talk about surrender for sure. Number two, what assumptions am I currently living from? I appreciate you. Thank you. What assumptions am I currently living from? And do they align with the truth that God has prepared something far beyond my senses and understanding? What assumptions am I currently living from? Think about what you really want. What assumptions are you living from? Does it align with the truth that God has already prepared something far beyond my senses and understanding? Okay. Remember, it's just a choice. Belief is just a choice. It's just a choice to tell a different story. That's it. This is all you're doing is you're walking through life and you're simply making choices. Every moment you're making a choice. What am I going to believe in? What story am I going to tell? Who am I going to be? What am I going to remember about myself? Choice after choice. Your life is simply a bunch of choices and stories that you tell. Like really break it down. You're always just making choices. I'm either going to use my past to judge the present and judge the future, even though my past is not what I want, or I'm going to walk and tell a different story, a choice. I'm going to tell the story that everything is working out, or I'm going to just trip out and go back to the old version of me that got all the shit I didn't want. Choice. It's all a choice. The story you tell about everything is a choice. You have power, right? The excuse that we try to make is, oh, I have to tell it like it is. Oh, this is my truth. I'm just speaking my truth. If your truth that you're speaking is the reality that you want to keep living, please, by all means, keep going, keep saying it. But if it's not, then why are you arguing for your limitations? If you don't want to experience it anymore, why are you arguing for your limitations? All right? Well, this is just how people are. Why are you telling that story? Well, I just have to, right? It's like we pull harder. We pull harder. We get in our story, and then, It's threatened a little bit, and then we want to fight a little bit more for that limitation. No, Alex, you just don't understand the people that I've been with. Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. But do you understand that that story is what is going to continue to create your reality? I don't want you to try. I don't want to try to understand something that you don't want to experience. I want to understand what you want to experience, where you want your life to head. That's where I want you to put your attention. Put your attention on what you want. On what you want. Don't hold on to the stories that you don't want to experience anymore. You're never telling it like it is. You're telling it how you are. You're never telling it how it is. Reality is not how it is. Reality is you. Reality is not just reality. It's you. It is you. It's always you. And then number 3, okay? Number 3. Am I willing to surrender my need to control the how and when, and instead walk with the peace of knowing the end is already written in my favor? Am I willing to surrender my need to control the how and when, and instead walk with the peace of knowing the end is already written in my favor? What is surrender? What is surrender to y'all? Anybody want to answer? When you hear that word surrender, what do you think of? I'll give my definition, but I would love to hear y'all's perspective on what surrender means to you. When we say surrender to the process, surrender to the divine, right? Yeah, releasing the outcome of the said situation. Okay, releasing the outcome of said situation. I'm assuming that's a situation in the middle, right? Letting go of the outcome, release resistance, let go and let be, giving it to God without micromanaging. Okay. Allow and receive. Wait, so I agree with all those. I would agree with all those things. And yet, even reading those, I still feel like most of our definitions, most people's definitions are somewhat vague when it comes to letting go, right? Let Jesus take the wheel. Let your I am awareness take the wheel. All right. So this is how I want to explain letting go for anybody that's kind of listening, that's confused on it. I don't believe that there's a need to let go of your desire. Okay? This is my perspective. If it is your desire, it is your desire. You want it, you have it, it's fine to focus on it. You know that you have it, you know that it's coming, you expect it to show up. I understand that we want what we want. And let's say I'm going through a difficult situation. Let's say the bills are due. Let's say somebody is sick. It might be very difficult for me to actually release the outcome of that if I believe that I'm going to be on the streets if this doesn't work out. If I believe I'm going to lose this family member if this does not work out. So, in those cases, what is surrendering? What is releasing it? Okay? So I have chosen what I want, and I've chosen it with passion, something that's very dear to me. Now, when I choose it, do I have a view of how it should look if things are working out? All right? Do I have a perspective of how it should look? Let's say that you're a trader. Okay, I need this money. I only have $500. I need 1,000. It must mean because I have faith, I must take a trade tomorrow and put all my $500 on that trade and make 1,000. Because I have faith, I must take all my money and go to the casino and put it on red. Because I have faith, that must happen. One of the interesting stories in Scripture is when Jesus goes to the wilderness. Remember, Jesus represents your I am awareness. Satan represents those opposing thoughts up here, those intrusive thoughts. All right? One of the things that Satan said when Jesus was quote unquote fasting, he said, throw yourself off of this cliff. You're the Son of God. Surely the angels will catch you. The angels will catch you. You'll be fine. And Jesus said, you don't test God. Don't test God. What does that mean? When we talk about this from a metaphysical perspective, what this means is exactly what I explained. I've been praying for prosperity. I've been embodying prosperity. I've been going to the end and staying there. But now I'm in the casino and I have an opportunity to put it all on red. I'm going to force God's hand. Because God loves me, if I throw myself off of this cliff, the angels will carry me to salvation. This is testing, micromanaging the middle. I already have a clear picture of, okay, I went to the end. So to get to the end, it must look like this. This is testing. This is micromanaging, right? My ways are not your ways, right? We have to understand that God's source has weapons that we do not know of. The how is not your concern, not your business. It's above your pay grade. You don't get access to that. That's just how it is. The same way you go to your corporate job and sometimes they just pass down things to you and they say, hey, look, this is the policy change. You're not going to walk up to the CEO and be like, hey, look, right? You simply have to do your job. Your only job here is to go to the end and stay there. That is it. No matter how you feel about it, doesn't matter what you see out there. You have to know that everything is working out. This is a CEO of your life that you can actually trust. This is the captain of the ship that you can actually trust. So when we talk about releasing, we're talking about stepping out of the micromanaging. When we're talking about surrendering, we're talking about stepping out of the micromanaging and walking in that faith. Am I saying that faith is going to always feel good? No. But fortunately, it doesn't say thou shalt feel a thing and it shall be, right? It doesn't say thou shalt regulate a nervous system and it shall be. Thou shalt reprogram a subconscious mind and it shall be. It says thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. So your job is to look at the situation and say, I don't care what it looks like. The situation might not look ideal, but the God within me is perfect, so the situation must be unfolding perfectly. Bada bing, bada boom. All right? So when we talk about surrendering, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about surrendering your desire to the end. Right? You want that shit. I want the shit I want too. But how does it look? Do you already have a mental image of this is how it must look? Well, what if it doesn't? What if you get to the same outcome? What are you more concerned with? Getting what you want or how it looks on the way there? Which one do you care about more? Both, Alex. Both. I want both. If you have to choose one, which one do you care about the most? What it looks like or getting what you want? Well, I mean, if you put it like that, I guess I'd take what I want. I know you would. I know you would. So that is your focus. That is your focus. Okay? How do we help visualize and use vision boards and not manage the way it comes? Well, all right. Remember, all of these things are tools. And they're all tools to remind you that you already have something. You don't do the vision board to get something. You don't visualize to get anything. You visualize to remind yourself that you already have it now and to experience what you want now, right? So that's how I would put it. I would say, if you're going to these, like a vision board party or whatever, right, and y'all are putting together a vision board, don't think of it in terms of, oh, I'm doing this to get something. Understand, I'm doing this because I already have it. And now reality must unfold. It must rearrange to give me what I already have, because as within, so without. All right? So this is the only way to not micromanage the middle is simply to go to the end and stay there. It's to know that I already have it. If I know that I already have it, it doesn't matter what I see because I already have it. Situation can look crazy. I said that I want this, and it looks like reality is going the opposite way. Well, I can't judge it. I got to judge righteously and not by appearance. It must be working fine. It must be working perfectly. It absolutely must. And guess what? 10 times out of 10, 100 times out of 100, a million times out of a million, it always is unfolding perfectly. I just didn't have the perspective to see it. Just never had the perspective to see it. Okay? Yeah, as within, so without. But like I always say, right, even as within, so without is not profound enough for you to understand what you really are, who you really are. You are reality. There's no within, there's no without. There's just you. And you are reality. And because I am this, reality is becoming this. And it must be this, because it must match me. Because this is just law, right? And then you're having a trouble not trying to control it. Okay, well, all right. So I would ask you this. You're having trouble not trying to control it. Why do you think that's a problem? Why would you believe that that's a problem? I'm having trouble not trying to control it. Okay, well, you're trying not to control it, right? So that's the goal, right? Is to try not to control it and just let it unfold. So you're doing it right. Like, this is our natural tendency to want to control things, right? Because that's what we do. That's what we're programmed to do as humans. So when I catch myself, I remind myself, oh, I don't need to do anything. My Father does the work. I already have it, and I allow it to unfold from that point. Here's what the problem would be. The problem is, are you beating yourself up, believing that because you tried to control it for a second, that means you can't get what you want anymore? Do you believe that that pulls you out of alignment? Do you believe that that messed up something for you? Well, that's the illusion of separation right there. That's the illusion of separation. You are new in every moment. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday, 2 minutes ago. Who are you right now? Who you are right now changes every version of you in the past and every version of you in the future. So just by being the right person right now, the past no longer matters. Yeah, I slip up, but what is the story that I'm constantly going to? Right, this is the story of Peter, right? Peter walking on the water. He looked out, he saw the thunderstorm, and then he started sinking. But the moment he put his mind back, or his eyes back on his I am awareness Jesus, he was able to float on the water again. He didn't have to start over. Right? He didn't have to go run back to the boat and be like, oh, my bad, let me start over again. He was in that same place again. Well, all right, if you believe that you're having trouble with that, okay, just say this. Go to the end, all right? Grant yourself what you want. Go to the end and say you have it. And now when you come to points where you need to make a decision on what to do you decree? Do you actually decree that whatever step I take next is perfectly in alignment with getting to where I need to be? And then you make that step, and then you just let it go and do your best, knowing that you'll be redirected anyway? Or have you gone to the end and then you are going through these situations and then you are judging yourself on if you made the right decision, if I should have done this or not? Remember, you go to the end. Because you're in the end, there's infinite ways to get there. There's not just 3 or 2, or I have to do exactly this to get it, right? There's infinite ways. The path, like, it's inevitable now. It's your destiny now. It's prophecy. Now you've already spoke the prophecy. So go to the end, stay there. And then when you come up on those decisions, simply tell the truth. Every step that I take is in perfect alignment with the source within me, with the unfolding of the perfect desires that are of my heart, right? You are creating reality. So take the ambiguity out of the decisions. Take the guesswork out of it. Reality create every step of the way. When you don't feel like you're flowing, make that decree. Oh, I am flowing. It's all flowing for me. It's all the easiest way. It's all the easiest way. That's a human perception. That's a judgment. If I tell you there's infinite ways to get there, infinite is beyond count. There's infinite easy ways to get there. There's infinite difficult ways. Make the decree. Choose. I choose. I am on the quickest, the easiest, the most divine, the most fun path to get to what I want. Make that statement. You have more control than you're giving yourself credit for. You have all the control. You are the operant power. You are the operant power. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. 40 years. Jesus was 40 days, right? Your dark night might only be 2 days. The more dramatic that shift in your perception is, the more definite it is, the more you just decide to choose perspectives, everything unfolds very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. All right. So we got some affirmations for y'all. Affirmations, and then we'll get to some more questions. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? I don't care about the how, but some people can manifest the exact process. So is it a choice, the how? The exact, what does that mean, the exact process? What do you mean? My bad. I do not understand what that means. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. I got you. So I do tell y'all this, right? You can choose how you want every situation to go. Or you can simply go to the end and understand that everything is unfolding for you perfectly anyway. How do you want to do it? You can do it either way. There's no rules to it, right? You are the one making the rules. Do you want to just say, oh, I'm a millionaire, and just sit in that knowing and then allow everything to unfold? Or do you want to say, this situation is going to go like this. This situation is going to go like this. Maybe you want to do that. Me personally, I'd rather it unfold in a way that surprises me and allows me to actually be present through my life. And micromanaging the process isn't that. That's why I try to choose goals that are exactly what I want, but they're large enough to allow myself to kind of flow through life, and they're large enough to silence my ego. It's another thing. If you ever believe that you're struggling with staying in the end, choose a bigger goal. Choose a bigger goal that shuts up your ego. I know it kind of sounds contradictory, right? Bigger goal that shuts up my ego. Yeah, the goal is so big that you stop looking at little things like problems. Sometimes, okay, let's say I wanted $1,000. I'm gonna look at everything as an opportunity to get $1,000. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, like this one person could book that could be $1,000. But if I'm thinking about $1 million, I'm not thinking about one person giving me my goal. Right? I'm thinking about everything unfolding on the path. So whether it's $3, whether it's $10, whether it's whatever, it's all unfolding for me. So I'm less inclined to micromanage the process, thinking that everything has to unfold through a certain way. Sometimes when our goals are too small. All right, here's the thing. This is one thing that I even learned earlier before I was in this manifestation space, is the smaller my goals, the more inclined I am to micromanage shit. The larger my goals, the more inclined I am to get into a flow state. So if I have a small goal, right, certain things might knock me off the path. Like, this little hiccup, and next week is the date. But if I have a goal that's large, those little things, that goal is so big that these little things they don't bother me at all, because I'm already thinking so much bigger. What if you start not believing it? What does that mean? What does not believing mean? I'm questioning you, and I'm asking you that because the way that you're asking that question, it seems as if you believe that believing is a feeling. What does losing faith mean? Do you believe that faith is a feeling? Do you believe that believing is a feeling? When we start associating alignment, faith with feelings, of course it's going to be easy to fall out, because sometimes your body has a feeling and all of a sudden your mind tries to follow it. But you have to be the one that is so present and says, you know what, I don't care if I doubt, I still have it because I say so. I don't care that the ego is doing all this complaining because I already have it. I already have it. It's like, no, faith is not a feeling. Faith is not a feeling. Faith is not a feeling. Belief is not a feeling. Conviction is not a feeling. It's simply my ability to tell the same story. Right? I'll tell y'all, like when I was going through my thing, I always tell y'all about this story when I was about to get kicked out of one of my spots, right? I did not have the feeling. I didn't have a feeling of faith. I had a feeling of anxiety the whole time, but I did not go there. Mentally, I did not go to what if it didn't happen. I stayed in the end. I stayed in telling that same story. It already happened. I already have it. It's unfolding for me. I was not sitting in the crib happy and lovey-dovey, just with a feeling of faith. No, I was sitting in that motherfucker biting my nails. I was in hell nervous. I was anxious. Somebody probably would have told me, "Oh, the reason you're not going to get it is because your nervous system is unregulated." You have to feel it true. I didn't feel it true. I simply spoke it. I simply spoke the word. Thou shalt decree a thing. In the beginning was the word. I spoke the word, and the word was made manifest. The word was made manifest. Right? And then how do you handle emotional triggers from people closest to you when you're trying to evolve? I allow those emotions to give me insight on who I am. That's all they are, right? I don't give power to my emotions and allow them to let me tell a story of something I don't want. Okay, why do I have this emotion? What do I have to believe to be true to feel this way? Right? The same way that I look at a synchronicity of seeing a number a certain time, right? Of seeing some pattern, right? If I have a feeling when I'm in a certain situation, this is a synchronicity. What is this feeling trying to tell me? What is the belief or the expectation that I've had? Right? No one can really trigger me, right? It doesn't because nobody is really out there. It is me telling a story about something, having the assumption about something that makes me feel a certain type of way, right? No one is really out to get me. Life is not even really testing me at all. Things are just reflecting who I am, right? If you met your mother today that you had known for all your life and you lost your memory about her, you had no memory of her, who would she be to you? She would be nobody to you. You would look at her and not know who the hell she was, right? She is simply a collection of stories that you're telling. I can never tell you what somebody else is thinking. I can never tell you what somebody else has truly went through, what someone else is believing, but I can tell you what I believe about them. Remember, we can never jump in somebody else's mind and say what they're thinking, what they're going through, what they've experienced, who they really are. But we can tell a story of what we believe about them, and that version of them can step forward and confront us in our life. This is all reality is. It's stories. That situation that you're looking at, erase your memories. It's meaningless. What gives it meaning? Your story, your description of it, your refusal to let go of the past, your dedication to that future story that you want. That is what gives all of these things meaning. That person that broke your heart, right? The day after y'all break up, you're in shambles. What did I have to do? What did I do to get in this position? 3 years later, you're with the love of your life and you're like, thank God I went through that. What changed? Simply the story that you're telling about that situation changed. And because you tell a different story, you change everything. So your emotions are just trying to point you towards stories that you've been telling. Confront them, accept them, love them, evolve from them, and move forward. Like one of the key things that I want y'all to really grasp is that life is truly meaningless. Nothing has meaning until you give it meaning. Nobody has meaning. That person that you believe you're so in love with, there was a time you didn't even know they existed. You had no recollection of them. They meant nothing. But now that you know them and you have a story, now they mean so much. Before that person cheated on you, you loved them so much. And before you started telling all these stories about how toxic they were, you loved the shit out of them. What changed? Your story. Now we'll try to explain our story and use excuses and say, no, Alex, you don't understand. He did that. She did this. Yeah, you're still the one telling the story. You're telling the story of who they are. That's your expectation. Therefore, they must match it. The version of them whose free will is in alignment with your expectations must show up in your life, because this is law. It's just law. You can't escape it. Right? You can't escape it. So we can cling to our past and be like, oh, this is just how it is. We can do that. But just know you're also condemning yourself to the same future. And if you don't want that, it's time to change the story. Appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Dang, did I even hit start on Instagram? Oh, I did. All right, y'all. What else y'all want to talk about? Anybody want to join? Anybody got anything that they needed to have a discussion on? You have issues with whatever you're going through, whatever, let's talk about it. This is y'all's time. About advertising business, I might not be the one to ask about that. I don't advertise really anything. My business is trading. I don't advertise that. Even this social media stuff, right? I wouldn't even call it a business. I don't advertise that. But I would say this, right? If you have a goal of where you want to go with your business, right? If you have a goal of where you want to go, it would be beneficial to actually have an infrastructure in your life to allow a source to flow through to help you, right? So whatever that looks like for you, it's going to be different for the individual. But whatever that looks like for you. Quantum jumping. Remember, when we talk about quantum jumping, drop the illusion that certain types of reality jumping are bigger than the other. Every moment of reality, you are jumping timelines. You are never in the same timeline for more than a moment. Right? This reality seems real, seems solid, but you are just jumping from moment to moment. The same way that if you watch a video, the video is shot in 24 frames per second. Means there's 24 pictures per second. All right? 24 pictures per second, but the pictures move so fast that those 24 pictures that show up every second, it looks like motion. Okay? This is the same way that reality works. So what is quantum leaping? What is manifest? You're quantum leaping, you're manifesting in every moment. Every single moment. There's no one thing that's greater than the other. Sometimes when we start believing things like that, we put limitations on ourselves. Oh, I'm not creating enough. I need to quantum leap. Well, who's making that assumption? We are. Who's telling that story? We are. Our words are so powerful, and sometimes we can get too much information that we put these limitations on ourselves that don't need to be there. When you decide that you want something, you have immediately quantum jumped right there. Quantum leaped, whatever you want to call it. You're always doing it in every moment. The only person that can stop it from being a fast process is us, because we'll tell a story like, oh, I need to do it differently. I need to affirm differently. I need to do this differently. When you don't, you already have everything within you. You need to spend 2 days with people that you don't like. How to stay grounded. The expectation that you have going into it is already off, isn't it? Isn't that expectation already off? What would be a better way to reframe that? I get an opportunity to confront certain beliefs. I know that everything is going to unfold perfectly for me on this trip, no matter what. I have an opportunity to confront certain demons within myself, within my own awareness, that I can bring back, that I can embrace, that I can get a deeper understanding of myself through. Right? How can you reframe that in a way that serves you? Because it does. It always serves you. It must serve you, right? This is law. Not saying that you said it wouldn't serve you, but it must. Therefore, how do I look at the situation different? Right? The moment we change our perception, our perspective, we change reality. Right? Everybody just gravitates to you because you're so welcoming, you're so charming. People want to get to know you. They show you a great time. They always bend their backs, break the backs for you. They go above and beyond just to make sure that you're happy and you feel welcomed in their circle, because that's how much you mean to them. Change the story. Change the story. All right, I said my biggest issue is the relationship with my family. I'm trying to change, but I have so much hurt from the past. Once again, I'm trying to change, but I have so much hurt from the past. Trying to change. Why are you trying to change? Why are you trying to be better? Why are you trying to step into this new version of you? Simply know that right now, because you have declared a different story, and that's what you are, that's what it is, that is the truth. Stop trying to do anything and simply know that you're already everything that you desire to be. There's no more healing to do. Get off the healing path. The healing path is exhausting, right? You don't have to heal from the hurt of your past. That version of you went through certain things to get you to where you are right now. Where you are right now is perfect. You trade, so you're going to understand this analogy. You can't bring your past hurt when you were blowing accounts into this present moment. You have to be refreshed and ready. You can't take the last trade into this next trade, or else you're going to revenge trade, or else you're going to FOMO. You have to be in the present moment. What can you do right now? Who are you right now? Who are you right now? Right now, you are the type of person that only has beautiful relationships with their family members. Family members always want to connect them. Family members are always trying to go out their way to understand you. You are going out your way to understand them. Y'all have a beautiful relationship. The past is the past. I leave it there. I bless that version of me as holy, as sacred, as perfect, as everything that I needed to get me to where I am right now. Just came across the post and the title. Cool. I appreciate you for being here. Appreciate you for being here. I am that I am. Absolutely. Have I traded RTX? No, I haven't. I only trade SPY, SPY, SPX. If it's a lot of volatility, I'll trade SPX. But typically I trade SPY, S&P 500. But you don't want that hurt anymore. You just want to manifest something different. Well, remember, when you're trying to hold on to that past, believing that you have to change it and you have to choose something differently, you are simply keeping it alive. There's nothing for you to do with that. Take your awareness off of it and let it fade away. The only reason that certain situations stay in our life is because we continue to tell that same story, that we have to heal, that we've been so hurt, that we want different, that was bad, that we want something good, right? We cling to realities by telling stories of what we don't want, right? Avoiding them, not seeing these things as perfect, not seeing them as the miracles that they are, right? You created this entire reality. It's still a miracle. Whether you like it or not, it's still a miracle. It still has a special part in your story. See it as such. And now simply put your awareness on what you want. You don't have to go through the past to get to what you want. You simply have to go to what you want to allow that current situation to fade away. I know you don't want that hurt anymore, right? None of us do. I don't think there's anybody that's, well, some of y'all freaky asses do like being hurt, but there's not many people that walk around just wanting to be hurt in life. They just want to be hurt, right? You want that divine situation to unfold in your life. Well, allow it to by focusing on it. You don't have to tell the story of the past anymore. The past, it's over. It only exists in your mind when you tell the story of it. But how do we do it to where we want? How do we do what to where we want? Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. You want to help your kiddo deal with a person in her life that lacks motivation and accountability? 1 to 2. Well, I thought you were talking about a man or a woman that they're trying to date. Person in a life that lacks motivation and accountability. You want to help them deal with it. I will put it like this. Everybody has to go through their own experiences. Do the best that you can. Know that the best that you do is enough. All right? Give her the best advice that you can, or him, knowing that the best advice that you give is enough. It's perfect for that situation. Bless it as such. Decree it as such. This advice that I give will be perfect no matter what. And then do it. I keep trying to ask a question, but then I think if I didn't already have the answer. Isn't that beautiful how all the answers are already within you? Already within you. Two and put that hurt towards her. Oh, 1 out of, that meant 1 out of 2. I'm tripping. Okay, here we go. I want to help my kiddo deal with a person in her life that lacks motivation and accountability, and put that hurt towards her. Gotcha. I would say this. I would still get the same answer. How do you honor your past if you don't tell your story? You bless the past as perfect. You bless the past as perfect. But you don't use the story to argue for limitations. I don't need to tell you that, okay, because I was hurt in the past by a woman, right? I don't have to sit here and if you ask me, hey, what do you want? I don't have to start it off with, well, I've just been through these things and these women did this. And this is why I'm like this, because they abused me. And then I feel bad. And now I'm just replaying, regurgitating that old bullshit story in the present. And this is a creative act. This is a creative act, right? So instead, what do? That version of me experienced things that gave me wonderful clarity on what I want, and this is what I want. Boom. The things that I went through served their purpose in showing me what I want, and this is what it is. I don't have to go through the old story. Well, the past doesn't even exist. Even the concept of honoring the past, right? Like, yeah, we honor it by respecting those old versions of me. But the moment that I go back and I have to tell my traumatic stories, because if you understand what I went through, you will understand me more. Realize this is how a lot of people will tell stories. They'll put their abusers on a pedestal and they say, look, I'm going to tell you what I went through. Because if you understand what this person did to me, now you will understand me more. So I'm not even explaining who I am to you. I'm saying this other person made me this way. And now here, deal with this shit. If somebody else did that to us, we'd be like, whoa, what the hell? No thanks. A lot of people like to say, come healed, right? But when it comes to us, we believe that, oh no, people should just accept me for who I am. Remember, the moment that I just am pulling those things from the past, it's not that I'm using the past to tell a story. I am embodying a person right now, and I'm using the past to prove who I am right now. This is what we're actually doing. I'm saying I am victim. And this is my proof. And so I pull those things from the past. No, you're not a victim. You are divine. Situations gave you clarity on what you want, and now you walk forward in the divine knowing of who you truly are. You walk forward in the divine knowing of who you truly are. What's up? What's up? Hello? Hello? Think that was an accident. Let me get back to the questions. Is it based on non-duality? Yes, absolutely. It's based on non-duality. That there's only unity, there's only oneness. Anything that implies that I'm separate from what I want, separate from the Creator, is an illusion. It's a limiting belief that I am confronting as I'm going through the unfolding of my reality, the unfolding of my life. Nah, no problem. We make mistakes. I just didn't want to keep you on here. You say some shit you ain't want to say. Get you caught up. Yo, they're talking freaky to a side piece, and not on my live, man. We're not finna get nobody caught up over here. And I appreciate y'all so much. The thing is, why this is so cool is, why this is so cool is because, to know yourself as source, what is better than that, right? To cultivate that intimacy with the Creator that you can call upon in whatever situation. And seeing y'all have these aha moments that are just like, wow, it's been me the whole time. I simply needed to change this story, right? It's just, I can't even put into words, man. I really love hearing y'all's stories, y'all success story. I've had a lot lately. They've all been pretty cool. What are some suggestions on retraining my thoughts that I am enough and what I do is enough? I love those stories. I can't get enough of them. All right, so suggestions on retraining my thoughts that I am enough and what I do is enough. Okay, I would be very, 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 very pointed with you. I would say, why do you believe that you have to retrain your thoughts or try to be enough or feel like you are enough? What I always say is I'll say, stop trying to be worthy and simply know that you are. But I have to go deeper with that, because I believe you're asking that because you probably just joined. Why I say it like that is because you have to remember who you are. You're not on a journey of trying to be something, of trying to be more divine, of trying to be more worthy, of reprogramming your mind and your thoughts. You're on a journey of remembering who you really are, okay? You are absolutely perfect right now. Why? Because you are the identity of God. You are the identity of spirit, of the spirit of the divine. You are it. You are the personality of God. Therefore, what is dwelling within you, right? Do you know that you are the kingdom, or you are the temple of God? And because you are the temple of source, of God, of the Holy Spirit, you can be nothing less than perfect, nothing less than worthy. Just by you walking around trying to be more worthy or trying to reframe your thoughts to believe that you're enough, is you are making the statement that you don't believe that you're enough. So instead of trying to be, simply know that you are no matter what. You already are no matter what. You're already prosperity. You're already divine. You're already love. You've simply been remembering yourself incorrectly. You've simply been telling the wrong stories. You've been taught your whole life that you have to work for worthiness. You've been taught your whole life you have to do things a certain way, right? Even the church says you got to do things a certain way. The job says you have to do these things to be worthy. Your parents said you had to do these things to be loved. The school says you have to do these things to be loved. The media, the politicians say you got to do these things to get your benefits. And now we come into source and we believe we have to be worthy to get what is already ours by right of consciousness. I am already everything that I desire to be right now, no matter what. You are already everything that you desire to be right now, no matter what. When I say no matter what, I mean no matter what, meaning no matter what you feel, no matter if you think you got to retrain some thoughts, no matter if you think that you were more worthy yesterday and now you're a little less worthy, no matter what, you are just as worthy as you'll ever be. You are everything that you desire to be right now. There is a scripture that says, in my Father's house are many mansions. The Father's house is you. You are the temple of the Most High. The many mansions are the dimensions within you. They are different perspectives within you. Every time you switch a perspective, you switch dimensions. So you're never trying to become something. You don't have to become something. You're not trying to reprogram, retrain, none of that shit. All of that shit is nonsense. It simply implies that right now, source is not within you. That's what it's implying. By me saying I have to work to be something, I'm implying that I am not the creator, that God is not within me. I'm denying my birthright. I'm denying my birthright. You were born with everything that you needed. Before you came down here, while you were in your mother's womb, when your soul jumped down into the pineal gland of that fetus, and then the word of God flowed over the waters, which was what? Your mother's womb. Then your water broke. The mother's water broke, and then you popped out. You had everything that you needed right then. After that first baptism, that was it. That was the work that you needed to do, was you had to be born, and you are absolutely worthy. Why are you worthy? Because you breathe, because you simply are, because you are awareness, because you are awareness. You are everything that you desire to be. There's nothing to retrain. There's nothing to reprogram. There's no nervous system to fix. There's no work to do. You simply need to be still and know that I am God. That's what you have to do. Be still. Stop trying to be anything. Be still and know who you are. Release it. Doesn't it feel good to let go of that striving? All that striving, all that implying, trying to walk around embodying some frequency of worthiness or prosperity that you don't even know what it was. You didn't even know what it was. You were just guessing some shit. Oh, I guess this is the feeling of prosperity. I guess this is a feeling of worthiness. That shit is exhausting, and it's not your divinity. It doesn't say thou shalt feel a thing and it shall be. It says thou shalt decree a thing. Say it. Simply say it. I am that I am, no matter what. I am the divine. I am the identity of the creator. I am everything that I desire to be. All right? Hopefully that helped. Hopefully that helped. That's a very passionate thing to me, man, because you are so much more than you know you are. None of us can grasp the power that's within us. The same power that is within you is the same power that creates universe, that creates the stars, with such intention that we can pull up a fucking zodiac sign, a zodiac chart from them. This is how much intention was made. And this is the same intention that is within you, shaping your life based on your perspective. Everywhere you walk, source is there, and you believe you're not worthy. Every situation that you look at, you say the situation is unfavorable, but you have God within you. When you speak, you express God. When you speak, God moves through you. And we think a situation is unfavorable. You shall have no false idols but me. If source is within you and you are thinking the things outside of you are bigger than what's within you, you are making false idols out of that situation out there. That's what you're doing. You're making a false idol out of it. And then you're talking down, so you're expressing God, right? Your voice, your words are expressing God. And when you are expressing God to a situation, acting like the situation is bigger than you, now you have to experience that. You deserve everything that you want. Whether you believe that or not, it is irrelevant. You simply have to tell the story. You simply have to stop trying to believe it and just know. Just know that no matter what, you are in alignment. Stop trying to be worthy. Just know that you are. Just know that you are. Just relax. Just be still and know that I am God. Just be still. Stop trying to be anything and simply know that no matter how you feel, whether you believe you got to work to feel worthy, if you believe today you just walked out of bed and you did your meditation and you ate your avocado toast, right? And now you feel worthy, you're just as worthy right then as the days you don't feel worthy. The only difference is what story are you telling? I am that I am no matter what. You are everything you desire to be no matter what. Matter of fact, let's get into these affirmations, all right? Let's get into these affirmations. How it's not a dumb question. Not a dumb question. Meditation, how important is it? Okay. Because a lot of my philosophy is centered around awareness and consciousness and actually walking through life and being present enough to tell the story of what I want, I would say meditation is important. I would say it's important. But not in terms of like, if you don't do it, you won't get what you want, but it can help you to be more focused. But then again, let's talk about meditation. You don't need to meditate to have the life that you want. You simply got to focus. How do you build your focus? Through whatever. You could build it through breaking your day into sections, right? Okay, for this next hour, I'm not going to touch my phone. I'm going to put my phone over there, put it on Do Not Disturb. I'm just going to focus on this work. If I can't get into flow, guess I'm just going to be staring at the computer. That forces you to focus. Next time I go on a walk or a run, no music. I'm simply going to recite affirmations, or I'm going to be present with nature. If I catch my mind wandering, I'm going to pull it back. This teaches me focus. Next time I have a conversation, I'm not going to touch my phone. I'm going to look that woman, I'm going to look that dude in the eyes, right? And we are going to have a conversation. I'm going to try to connect with them, right? This teaches focus. So do you do things in your life that require focus, that continue to build your focus? I would say that is important for this philosophy. Now, there's other benefits of meditation, right? You get into visualization. You can get the downloads. Right? There's lots of things. It just calms you down, right? It pulls you out of certain moods, all of that. So that's what I would do. But if you feel called to any of those things, step to them, right? Do them. I'll never say, if you're called to something, I'll never say don't do it, because your soul is calling you down that path for a reason. Okay? Cool. All right, I got 8 affirmations for y'all. Oh, no problem. We all in this together. 8 affirmations for y'all. Okay? Remember, you are not trying to be any of these things. You already are them. We're simply remembering who we are. We're simply remembering who we are. All right? Number 1. I do not chase what is mine. I walk in the knowing of the promise already alive within me. I do not chase what is mine. I walk in the knowing of the promise already alive within me. Beautiful. Beautiful. Number 2. Every step I take is divinely choreographed. My path is embraced by favor before I arrive. Every step I take is divinely choreographed. My path is embraced by favor before I arrive. I have already decreed it to be so, and therefore it is. Every step that I take is with the divine. Every breath that I take is in alignment with the divine. Every word that I speak is in alignment with the divine. Who I am is in alignment with the divine. I am everything I desire to be right now already. I am that I am no matter what. Number 3. Even when the road bends through shadows, I trust the unseen bridge as the sacred unfolding of my dream. Even when the road bends through shadows, I don't care what the circumstance looks like. I don't care what I feel. Even when the road bends through shadows, I trust the unseen bridge as the sacred unfolding of my dream. Remember, when I say I don't care what my feelings are saying, I'm not saying I don't honor my feelings. I'm not saying I'm not gonna allow myself to feel bad and sulk for a little bit. I'm not saying that. I'm gonna honor my feelings as part of my human experience, as part of my soul's development. However, when I come back conscious, right, I'm going to remind myself who I am right now. Right now. Right now. I'm not fighting through the sadness and trying to force myself to be happy. I'm experiencing it. And then on the other side, I remind myself who I am right now. I don't condemn that version of me that needed to feel that sadness. I don't deny myself my human experience, but I remember that I'm much more than that. I'm much more than that. And now when I remind myself of who I am right now, it overwrites the past, it overwrites the future. Okay? Number 4, what feels like waiting is heaven preparing me to carry the weight of answered prayer. What feels like waiting is heaven preparing me to carry the weight of answered prayer. Some of you might just be in a season of, your soul's just trying to give you a break because it knows that as soon as you get all that money, your ass finna go shopping. Your ass finna be on the move for 40 days and 40 nights. 40 days and 40 nights, I'm sprinting this paper. What feels like waiting is heaven preparing me to carry the weight of answered prayer. Beautiful. Beautiful. Next up, I no longer seek validation in the noise. I walk by the silent certainty of my inner vision. I no longer seek validation in the noise. I walk by the silent certainty of my inner vision. Every step I take is preparation. You feel me? Every step I take is preparation. One more time. I no longer seek validation from the noise. In the noise. I walk by the silent certainty of my inner vision. Whether I speak or not, I am in alignment. Whether I feel good or not, I am in alignment. I am that I am no matter what. Next. I speak from the end, live from the end, and know the end as my present truth. Ooh, I know. I speak from the end, live from the end, and know the end as my present truth. Yeah, I know you like that. I know it. Next up, we got 2 more. Buckle up. I am not becoming. I am the embodiment of the answer walking itself into form. One more time, but let's break this down. I am not becoming. I am the embodiment of the answer walking itself into form. This puts another little caveat on this. I am not becoming. Reality is becoming. I already am. I already am everything that I desire to be right now. I am the embodiment of the answer. I am the answer to my prayers, walking itself into form. Every step that I take, reality is conforming to me. Every breath that I breathe, reality is rearranging. It is becoming me. I am that I am. I am the boss. I'm the master. You are the operant power. I am not becoming. I am the embodiment of the answer walking itself into form. Every step that I take, reality is huffing and puffing, forming, rearranging around me. Why? Because I say so. Because I say so. And last but certainly not least, my faith is not passive. It is the divine force that commands reality to rearrange in my favor. My faith is not passive. It is the divine force that commands reality to rearrange in my favor. Ooh. Faith is not passive. my faith, my word, my embodiment. That is the divine force that commands reality to rearrange what in my favor. In my favor, right? I am that I am, no matter what. Remember, you're not trying to be these things. You already are them. You're just remembering. You're just remembering who you are. Okay? You're just remembering who you are. All right? So if y'all want to join, go on and join up. Go on and join up. If y'all want to join, go on and join up. Let's talk. Whatever questions y'all got, this is y'all's time now. Oh, I thought I just accepted somebody. I thought I did. Hello? I guess not. What y'all want to talk about? What y'all want to talk about, man? Everything that you desire is already within you. Simply waiting for you to decree it, to accept it. All right? It's already yours. It is already yours. What's up? What's up? You hear me? Hello?
Hello?
All right, cool. I hear you. I hear you. You hear me?
Hello?
You hear me? Your volume might be down. What's up? What's up?
What's up? Blessed night, brother.
Bless. How you doing, brother?
Everything good, man.
Perfect.
I've been following and listening for a minute now, and the message is, I just had to get your flowers and tell you, continue doing the great works, because, you do have a lot that walk in the narrow path like yourself, and,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's such an inspiration. Just the get that message in the rise and show the consistency that you have,
I appreciate it.
That's the new, and be present in that frequency is,
Hey,
that's how you get your thoughts.
I appreciate that, brother. Truly, I appreciate it, man. Truly, we all on this journey together, right? So we all recognize each other on this journey. So I'm grateful to be on this journey with you, brother.
I'm saying something new, like the story about Elijah, right?
Yeah.
How would you articulate that to someone who, like that story where you just went up in the chariots of fire? How would you articulate that to the masses?
Honestly, I can't even answer to you because I don't even know it, but we can read it. Praying for rain. Which story are you talking about with Elijah?
They say that he was taken up in a chariots of fire, and he didn't die like the ordinary man,
Oh.
or woman, like, meaning that his days were lengthy on the planet, and his grace of the Most High was taken up in chariots of fire.
Oh, in the chariot of fire. Okay.
Analogy for something, like how would you articulate that?
There are a couple people that went up, right? If you read the story of Enoch, right, rising in the Merkabah. Yeah. So yeah, I got you. Right. So all of that. All right. We can take this literally, or we can take this metaphorically. There is no death. Right. So even in Scripture, when we talk about death, there's no death in the kingdom. These are simply deaths of different versions of yourself, right? Just you rising to a different level of consciousness, right? So, yeah, like exactly like the phoenix. So what happened to Enoch? Enoch actually became an archangel, one of the highest angels in itself, right? So that story, I don't really go too far into the Enoch story,
Yeah.
When I did read it, it was more so because I was trying to get an understanding of like the Anunnaki. I was trying to get a more physical understanding of it. So metaphysically, sure, I ain't gonna start lying to you, man. I don't really know. The chariot of fire, I'm not really sure. I would love to hear your perspective of it.
Yeah. You ever heard of the Bracteria knowledge?
Yeah.
Like, I need you eating little and living long.
What was that last part?
To me, I need it stems from the word I need you eating little and live long.
Okay.
Ancient word I need you. Right? So, to me, like, I perceive it as Elijah was on that path, and you know, the fire is like immortality, you know, like living until, you know, however the existence. Like some people say like it went up into the line of life, instead of the way that we used to do it like back in ancient days. Right?
Yeah.
Like I would say the pharaohs would do it like, you know,
Yeah.
like embody that light body. Instead of being earth beings, become air beings.
Yeah.
And live off of light energy, prana, chi, ka, you know, whatever we may call it.
Gotcha. Because even when we talk about the Merkaba, right, activating that light body. So now that is more making sense, right? Because that's what Enoch did. When Elijah was actually rising, it was because he was activating that light body and kind of transcending this earthly body. Because you have so many different bodies within you, right? You have your physical body, your etheric body, you have the astral body, all of these things. So activating it. So even when we talk about fire in terms of scripture, right? The fire is that furnace where you are forged into oneness with source. Right? We talk about fire, whether it's a disaster that happens, whether it's a heartbreak. But even scripture will say God is an all-consuming fire, meaning once you touch the divine, once you get a little taste of God within you, right, it consumes you. It is something that you can't go back. So being risen in that chariot of fire, just completely transcending the physical body, that makes sense.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Yes, it's accurate.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to come on and, you know, I just, you know, build a little bit and I'm grateful. I just, you know, want to give someone else a chance as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the live. And it's a blessing, but I always tuning in, I was liking, you know, like, it's such a good frequency to tune in the day. Like on the TikTok, there's so much of distractions and just scrolling, and for you to be on the feed and always, like, a lot of people resonate with the scriptures as well. And I like how you put the scripture and like the esoteric knowledge and you infuse it, and you know, whether flowers to you, it's an honor for sure.
Hey, blessings, brother. I appreciate that, man. Nothing but love to you. I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Blessings. Have a great night, man.
You as well, brother. You as well. I appreciate y'all, man. Truly. Who's next? Anybody got anything you want to talk about? My bad for, I know Marky. I know you joined earlier. My bad. I just couldn't. Well, I could hear you. You just couldn't hear me. So I don't know if your volume was down. Your voice was. I don't know if the phone volume was down. What it was. But yeah. If y'all got things y'all want to talk about, this is y'all's time. Y'all manifest better audio for me, huh? Let me see if this is an accident again. What's up? Was this an accident again?
We manifested better audio.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know if you accidentally dialed up here again.
No, I have a lot to say actually.
Cool, perfect. How you doing today?
I'm feeling really good. How are you?
I'm blessed. I am so blessed.
Ashe, I love to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure you are blessed because I was listening to
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you said you were listening to something and then you just went blank.
Oh, dang. I was listening to Napoleon Hill,
Uh-huh.
and he was saying that you become even more blessed by giving the blessings that you've received to others. And even like sharing knowledge, sharing wisdom, sharing time, especially knowledge, because I think even in the Bible it talks about how you're supposed to like exhibit long suffering for others.
Yeah.
And they apply that in the legal field, that's what prosecutors are doing. They're suffering for the benefit of someone else. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I would say, yeah, you are blessed because I learned so much from what we talked about last night.
How has everything been?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. How has everything been? Turn your volume up.
It's been so good.
Okay, good.
Like, okay. Yeah, so we talked about how the spirit is within you and you can basically manifest anything from there so long as you decree it.
Yep.
And within that law, everything applies. Whether it's love from people or money or the right relationships, the right favor, like it literally all applies. So then once you open that door, it's like everything that you say that's in alignment with God, it goes.
Hey, that was a bar what you said, that everything within that law, everything applies. That was a bar right there. That was a bar. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Bro, it's literally all open to us.
It's all open. It's the story that we're telling. It's the perspective that we want to hold. It is this story of life is just a love story. It's a love story of you to yourself. And as you're walking through life, you have the opportunity to continue to create, continue to rewrite it, continue to revise it and edit it and make it more beautiful than it was yesterday. So you're absolutely right. Everything falls within that one law, the law of being, the law of assumption.
And that's where you become limitless. I was led to watch that movie last night and he literally turned his life upside down.
Yep.
Just by tapping into the full power of his mind, but it's really certainty. Being absolutely certain that this is real. That faith has a connection with God and that God is limitless. Like, you're like, oh, I want $1 million. And to God, that's not even a penny.
Yeah.
That's like the same as a lamp or the same as just a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
But we put so many blocks in terms of money or in terms of some people even food or resources and then it's just like once you let those blocks go, all that's left is the possibility of God showing up. Like, why would I choose for God to not show up?
You are preaching right now. You are absolutely preaching. The only limits that we have is the limits that we place on ourselves. Just like you said, right? Who is the one who perceives the $1 million as more important than a bowl of cereal? It's us. It's not source. This is the creator of worlds, the creator of all that there is. There's nothing new. We're not even creating anything. We simply take substances that are already existing here and put them together in different ways and call it our invention, but it's all here. It already is. So you're right. We are boundless. We are limitless. The only limits we have are the things that we have to peel off of our conscience.
Yeah, exactly.
Look
and
at
then once
you.
you peel those things back, all that's literally left is God.
Look
And then
at
thinking
you.
about how God in one of his verses said how the bird always gets its food and like God values you more than a bird. It's
Yes.
about the daily bread, basically
Yes.
how God will always provide. Like I even go into the idea of if tough times were to hit in real life or like a blackout happened on the grid, you would literally probably value a bowl of cereal in a famine more than you would money.
Yes. Yes. Keep going, man. I love to hear this.
Oh my God.
It just seems like you have opened up so much.
Because like, bro, I'm tapping in like that really to understand that the spirit is within you and you are the only one with your mind tapping into that spirit, creating everything in alignment with God who has already created everything, just giving you the vibration to tune into basically.
Yeah.
So It literally, they literally tell you what manifestation is in Jude 121. Like, it's talking about how you have to build yourself up in the most holy faith and pray in the Holy Spirit. So that's telling you have complete faith and then be within the Holy Spirit. That's literally telling you the playbook. And then it says, keep yourself as God loves as you wait for the mercy of eternal life. So basically, your manifestation is basically your idea of I'll be okay, or I'll have what I need, or that's basically eternal life. Like, you reach a state of completion.
Yeah.
So as you wait, keep yourselves in God's love as you wait for the mercy of your manifestation to come. It's literally giving you the playbook.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like literally nothing new under the sun.
Nothing. Keep going. You're on a roll right now.
Because I wrote it down because I'm like, bro, I need to be able to have, my mind keeps going everywhere, but I need to be able to have some structure. So then I was thinking about, like, okay, when I get all of the manifestations I want, what am I going to do? Like, what life am I going to be living? And I'm the type of person, I just want to give back to people, but I realize, like, it has to be fun. Because then people are going to think it's a scam. Or they're going to be like, why is this person giving away free money?
Yeah.
Like, have you seen Mr. Beast before?
Yeah.
Okay, so I basically want to take Mr. Beast's idea and put that into an app version. And I guess for anyone that doesn't know Mr. Beast, he basically is like a person who just plays games on the streets with people and he gives them money. It's like free money, kind of.
Yeah.
So how can I take that, but make it fun, but make it digital? So I'm like, bro, okay, I need to use that, whatever, and create an app, because I do want to manifest money, but more importantly is manifesting the perfect people to build something with, right? Manifesting those perfect relationships, which is way more important than money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you think about any superhero like the Flash and Black Lightning, they literally had an ally. And without that ally, they would have been nothing. No amount of money could have given them what that ally would have given them.
Right.
So, anyways,
So
I have
what's
this app idea, and then I'm like, well, for people to invest in the app, so that let's say you have 10 people who spend $10 on this app. Let's say you have a character and they buy a shirt for $10 that they can wear, and then that money pools to be like $100, and then we can figure out where do we give that pooled money? Do we give it to, let's say, people that want to pay their rent, or for college kids that want to pay off student loans, or someone that needs to buy, like, what do we do with that money? And then I'm like, it all has to be public. And then I'm like, what is public that considers pooled money? The government is a public entity. It's never been a private entity. Every single thing that the government does is completely public because they're pooling the public's money together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so let's look up public contracts, because that's what I'm thinking about doing. You're basically soliciting the public for help, and then you're publicizing all of those contracts. I looked it up, and I looked up batteries, because I'm like, again, the grid, I keep thinking about the grid going out, so I'm like, get batteries, and then get flashlights. And what is the government contracting for batteries and flashlights? Riot gear. Bro, like, riot gear. It's all public information. If you go to the government contract website and then type in flashlight, the first thing you will see is a public solicitation for riot gear, for people that know how to, sew up, vests, helmets, like first aid kits, stuff like that. And then I'm like, okay, let's look up. I looked up.
Keep going.
Maybe I looked up batteries.
Okay.
And then it was RTX. Bro, RTX just got a $50 billion yesterday, August 4th. RTX was just approved for a $50 billion government contract. And then today, I think the Pentagon approved them for $3 billion. Like, big things are happening right now. Like,
yeah. Do you understand how you tapped into the flow, and then you tapped into a reality where all of this information was readily available for you right now?
I mean, bro, I don't know. I think so.
No, you do know. It's more than you think so. That's what it is. Even the quote unquote coincidence of those things happening yesterday. Does that not seem a little off to you? A little strange to you? A little synchronous to you?
Yeah, 8-4 is 8 is manifestation, and 4 is
Exactly.
foundation. So
Exactly. No coincidence, no sync. It's all just divine. It's all just perfectly unfolded for you.
everyone, because literally yesterday, the government approved this, like I said, $50 billion contract with RTX, and they basically produce a lot for the government in terms of space travel, providing battery banks for all of these things, and have like these cars that send plasma radiation or something into the force field when like something wants to bomb us. This all sounds like alien invasion stuff, but that's literally what they're doing.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Once you read into what these companies are doing, they're literally preparing for
an alien invasion. Yeah, exactly.
An alien invasion from the sky. Like once you really read into it, that's exactly what they're doing. And then I realized the weather. Like the president, he's messing with like weather.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already been messing with the weather.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
They even tell you that in the Bible. But anyways.
Yeah, the weather, because even Earth is not supposed to be a cold planet. We're not supposed to have certain seasons here. It's not natural to humanity. But yeah, you're right.
Everything is twisting and turning, and I think even the currents have shifted or something like that. And basically, I was learning about. So RTX, they specialize in plasma radars, which are basically what they're using to help locate things that are in the sky. Whether it's other fighter jets, other airplanes, or other things, they're using plasma radiation or plasma radars. And then the weather companies are building products with plasma radars too. So much money is going into this. I'm like, why is the government putting $50 billion into plasma radars?
Yeah.
Why is the weather, which is like what, NOAA, the NOAA is putting like probably millions and billions of dollars into plasma radars, which they're using that to detect, I guess, transformations in the electric field, which is what they're using to measure weather.
We're also, even the way that the solar system the solar system that we're in right now is moving around. We're in a place where we're going to get more radiation, which is actually going to help wake up a lot of people. And so it's almost like these things are being dangled in our face, right? I remember President Trump was talking about this Space Force, and people were like, Space Force, what the hell? This guy's crazy, right? We're just dangling these things in front of our face. But all this information has just been readily available for people to look at.
Literally, because it's all public information.
Yeah, exactly. All public information.
Yeah, it's even with, like you said, what Trump is dangling in our face. And someone commented about, like, is this why they're disbanding those agencies? There's something to it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
The direction I feel like they're going to go into is they're going to say, like, an alien invasion hit, and that's why the grid went out. Just because that's how all of the media kind of gears it towards. But I think it's an inside thing. Like, these plasma radars, they're able to detect things from so far away. And so how it works is basically, you've heard of this slit, what is it called, the slit something theory?
Yeah, the double slit.
Double slit theory. Can you explain that?
The double slit experiment you talk about with consciousness?
Is it with consciousness?
Okay, we might not be talking about the same thing, but when these rays of light are shot in between these two slits, if no consciousness is involved, they just take every path. They take every path. So basically, if you have, let's say that you have a beam of light or photons that you shoot through two slits. All right. If there's no consciousness involved, how the light is going to travel, or how the photons are going to travel, is they're going to take every possible combination to get to where they want. So if I have 1,000 slits, that photon, if I shot the photon, it would split and it would go through every single hole, every single slit. And then it would go back to the other side and it would hit the same place. Right? If I had an infinite amount, all the photons would go in all these different places. So it's just an exercise of consciousness. But once consciousness is placed on them, now all of a sudden it chooses a specific path to go to, which is the least resistant path. But initially, energy has to flow in every single possible combination. So therefore, even if I think of, something that I want, some future outcome that I want, reality is already taking every single path to get there. My energy is already going to that future, and it's taking every single possible way that I can get there. And it's already measured. This is why there's infinite ways to get whatever you want. Is that the experience you talk about?
Wow, that is awesome. That is basically exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So that consciousness in scientific realms, it would be particles basically.
Yeah.
And then those slits, imagine if you could move them individually. So you can beam the light in a way that's specific to how you want it beamed.
Yeah. And it's just the I guess manipulation of consciousness, I guess. Something like that.
Basically.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they have those slits. They've created, I forget what they're called. I would have to look it up, but like let's call it light. Like they're really plasma radars. They're radars to, I guess, they're using electric current to measure what's happening like in the outside world using light. Like it's kind of complicated, but anyway, they have like, let's say 8 little lights set up, and those 8 little lights are shining, and where the light doesn't shine is where the slits are created. Or
Right.
maybe the lights are the slits. So they're able to move each light in the direction that they want it to move, so that they're able to shine light on different things. But like if you were to turn your head left and right, that's a 180. No, what is that, 90 degrees left and right?
No, that's 180.
180. So they're able to basically blast out these plasma radars and look 180. But I think even the weather, they're learning to look like farther. Just so basically, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The technology, that's what's happening right now on a scientific level, and even on a conscious level. How you explained it, I guess we could go in the same way, and I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
If anyone study like space travel, what's also interesting, when you start talking about how to manipulate consciousness and manipulate energy, that's also what you have to do to travel through space. So like to travel through the void of space, let's say you want to go light years away, right? By the time, like we can't travel from one point to another point through space that fast, because we would die before we got there because of the time relative to how we're moving. So what we actually have to do is we have to bend space to go from point A to point B, right? We basically have to fold space to get to a certain point, right? So all of that pertains, so I ain't no rocket scientist or nothing, but all of that pertains to consciousness.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
We're bending space. We're doing it on a conscious level, and they're doing it in the worldly way. Like in the reality, they're bending it, but consciously we're bending it. So they're trying to use technology to keep up with our minds, because they don't have the mental capacity to use their minds. They have to use technology. Like literally, like their life depends on it.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because we are in that time. You're right.
Because we're alive. We're living beings. But a lot of them, oh my gosh, I forget what passage says this, but it's talking about people, dark, dang it, I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to mess it up, but let's just say like, there's this show called Westworld, and
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I've seen parts of it.
So you know the premise.
I don't know that.
So it's
Dang.
basically like these billionaires, these millionaires, they go to this realm where they can't die because they enter the simulation basically. And there's these other NPCs that look completely human, but they're just characters in a game playing out the role that these people can kind of escape from reality and go to. But they're like, these NPCs look so real, but they're just robots. And they're starting to self-realize and realize, wait, I've died over and over and over again. I'm just a robot. So what I think is that like there's actual beings who are like that in society.
Yeah, absolutely. There are, and they're in plain sight, right? Like they're all over the place. So yeah, you're right. But this has been going on forever. There's certain rituals that certain people do to live longer, right? They have to consume certain. One of the big mysteries is like, okay, have you ever seen a new cemetery being built where all the dead bodies going, right? Well, when you think of things like that, if you think about how much housing is around, how much apartment complexes are around, and then what happens when all these people pass away. We've had more people pass away on Earth than we have that are alive right now, and we have so many people alive. So where are all these things going? So we could make guesses, but it's very interesting some of the rituals that certain people, entities do, just so they can preserve their consciousness, their youth, their ability to remain here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of TV shows and stuff about that. Like, have you seen the show called Evil?
No.
I watch a lot of TV. There's a show called Evil with like a priest, a scientist, and he's a guy that's really good at technology, and they basically go on exorcisms. And one of the main characters is a guy who, I guess not to spoil it for everyone.
Spoil it.
Yeah, there's a guy who he's like a demon basically, but to stay young, he drinks blood and he siphons people's life force energy. And they show like really realistic demons in that show. It's so good, and we see everything from the priest's perspective, which is he's a Catholic priest, and he's black, so he's like one of the only black Catholic priests. And then he eventually runs in with the FBI, no, the CIA.
Yeah.
No, my bad. It was what is that town in Europe that's like connected to the Vatican?
Oh, okay, yeah. The Vatican, the conspiracy house.
Yeah, so the Vatican, they basically get this priest and they teach him how to astral, or how to, what is it called when you can like tap in, you can use your mind to like tap into somewhere else and locate it?
Like remote viewing?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So they teach him how to remote view basically, and he has to find targets for them, and then it goes even so deep that he remotes view to see like these prisoners who have been held captive in Africa by someone.
Yeah.
He becomes that someone who's holding them captive, and he like starts controlling his body just from remote viewing. And like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Have you read the what's the files, the CIA files, the Stargate files, or whatever they're called, on remote viewing?
I actually printed all of those off. It's really crazy, but I personally wouldn't do none of that. But it is good knowledge.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting because, I mean, it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But all of those things, right? Of course, the government wants to tap into those things, because why would you not want to remote view to get a little bit of espionage going on, right? So those things, they're always hidden in movies, right? But they're also just right there in plain sight.
Yep, they're all in plain sight, and everything is just a Freedom of Information Act away.
Facts.
Because it's all public. We just don't go searching for it, and the government kind of knows that, and they play on that. But it gets me to I guess this point that's really big is that it's like a horseshoe. It's like, or like consciousness is like a horseshoe. If you were imagining that you're going forward on a path and you eventually got to turn and go back to where you came from, but you got to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah, it's a journey of remembering, right? It's a journey of stripping away. It's really not a journey of becoming. It's a journey of perception. You're absolutely right.
It's a journey of perception, exactly, because I think it's Bashar that's basically teaching that. Oh wait, am I frozen?
No, you're good.
Okay. So Bashar, he basically teaches that location is inside of something instead of something being inside of that location. And so if everything is everywhere all at once, then time and place, like location and the dimension of time, which is location is like a horizontal, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess time would be vertical, because time literally only goes up or down. And then location, you're just walking on a plane. So I don't know. Maybe even that has something to do with the cross. Is like being at the right place at the right time, is being in the center of.
You're preaching now. Your ass preaching now. You're absolutely right. Yeah. All of those things are within awareness, right? Time only exists within awareness. Space only exists within awareness. All those things only exist within consciousness. So it's really just the unfolding of our consciousness, traveling through time, traveling through space. There really is no time. There is no space. There's simply our awareness of it. It's all wrapped up in this beautiful gift that we've received, which is our awareness. Right? Maybe that is something that has to do with the cross. You're absolutely right.
Wow. Because even, this is such a tangent, I shouldn't even say it, but even with the cross, it opens up your heart completely. Like, I'm like, so many people died on the cross, not just Jesus. But I was like, this is a tangent, it's gonna derail us, but I was thinking about why do people use the cross as a signifier of their love for Jesus Christ when that's how he was basically brutally murdered? I'm like, if your loved one got shot, you wouldn't wear that bullet on your neck. Like, you wouldn't wear a knife if they, like, I don't even want to go into that because that's horrible, but like, why are we positioning something like that? Like,
because people are psychopaths.
People died on the cross.
Because people are psychopaths, and they think that worshiping some mutilated man on a cross is somehow holy, right? It makes no sense. The only reason it makes sense to so many people is because that's what you've been fed. That's what we've been fed since we were children. That's why it makes sense. But you're absolutely right. You know, if my loved one got chopped up with a machete, I'm not going to celebrate a picture of him with the machete in him. It makes absolutely no sense. Right. But it's just something that we do because this is how we have been fed to view things.
Yeah, I think it's really, like, when you begin to question it, it's like, that is a form of psychosis. Yeah. Especially, like, I mean, it's deception. When you lie to someone, you're essentially putting them in a psychosis because they're eventually going to have to come back around to the truth and wonder about, you know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Everything that in the past. So, yeah, it's weird. I'm like, we shouldn't necessarily be celebrating his death so much as we should celebrate eternal life. And I've read the Bible on and off throughout my whole life, but I was guiding back to it, and I opened up to a random page, and I started at Luke. And Luke tells about the birth of Jesus and how that came about. And Luke doesn't even start with Jesus. It doesn't start with the birth of Jesus. Guess what it starts with? It starts with the birth of his ally, of his closest ally. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, is like, an ally is more important than anything in this entire world. Like, so I guess it was, don't make me say it, but basically, do you know who it was? The mom and the dad who he went silent because Archangel Gabriel came down and told him that he was going to have a son, but him and his wife are really old. And
you talking about Abraham?
Dang it, let me grab my Bible and go to it right quick. But basically, let me see. Luke is pretty long, but
what's that? That's the Old Testament. I'm tripping.
Let's see.
Somebody in the chat now.
So yeah, it starts with Zechariah, and is it Sarah?
Oh, yeah, Elizabeth, yeah.